Yo, 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 yo. Welcome. Episode 13 of the Ben Hoon Show. This is your co-host, Ben M. We've got a special guest on my lap, Miss Evelyn M. Say hello, Evelyn. She's not really saying anything.
Hello.
Oh, hey, hello, Evelyn. Actually, not Evelyn, but my co-host is always Mr. Hoon Choi sitting to my left. And we're going to see how long this lasts, but bear with us here.
We got some special guests in the studio.
Yep.
We have Mihi, Esther, Andrew, and
Andrew doesn't want to
Evelyn.
get on camera, though, but Evelyn's actually doing all right here. She's just chilling. She doesn't actually know what's going on. She knows there's a mic here, so she's grabbing for it. But
She's
what
a
about
natural.
this background of Uncle Hoon? What about this background
Man,
of Uncle
I
Hoon?
did not
This
agree to this
manly
background of when I gained just a little bit of weight.
Just
Yeah. So this is
this
quite
picture
the-
was
When was this? It was
2004. It was 2004, and I know you're so obsessed with weight. You're just like the typical Korean girl. Did you miss what I say? You're just like the typical Korean girl obsessed with weight.
Nah, dude.
You are.
Nah,
Admit
dude.
it. Admit it. You're very obsessed
it's
with
not
weight.
that I'm obsessed with weight. You know when you're like dieting, like that's what you look
But you're
at.
always dieting. You're like constantly dieting. You're like
that is very true. I am on a perpetual diet,
Which is
since
ridiculous.
2004. But if you look at when I don't think about perpetual dieting, you see what I look like, though, right?
Yeah, it's
and
pretty-
Ben keeps on looking at the
pretty,
green screen like he's gonna see something.
it's pretty Jabba the Hutt-ish. No,
But you see what I'm saying though. If I'm not constantly thinking about it, I tend to overeat because I love food. And
Food is great.
and it becomes an issue. And then this is what happens. Dude, you keep on coming up with all these crazy, like embarrassing pictures of me from like a long time ago. Because back in the day, we didn't have like camera phones, so like there aren't that many pictures from pre like. Camera phone days. Which was,
unless you printed pictures and you scanned them, which is a pain in the butt.
Here, like, you have more than excess pictures
I
and
do.
videos. You have access to all of that because everyone's taking pictures constantly.
Yep.
Taking pictures of their food. I mean, that's become the newest trend. Can you imagine back in the point and shoot era, we're like taking a picture of our
I did do that.
You did do that?
I did. No, not
No,
in the
you
point and
didn't.
shoot. Okay, let me take it back. I didn't do it for the point and shoot print era, but I did it for when I first got my first digital camera, because it had like a food setting. I remember
It had a food
Yeah,
setting.
it was a Casio camera and it had a
Dude,
special food setting.
Man, you were
I thought it was cool.
You were quite the hipster back then. You were doing that before it was cool.
This was like, if I go back in my computer, my earliest digital pictures were probably like 2001, 2002.
digital.
Yeah, and then, okay, so before I bought that camera, I remember in college, my friend had a digital camera, it had a disc in it. It had a floppy, 3.5-inch floppy drive disc that went into it was a Sony camera.
Wow.
It was crazy.
So like if it's that floppy disk, so it
The
could
camera
probably
was
hold,
huge.
So it could hold maybe like what, 2 pictures, maybe.
No, I remember it holding like maybe like 20 or something, but it's funny, you would take a picture, you could hear the drive read. Yeah, like it's a blast from the past, but hey, it's not going to stop me from having embarrassing pictures. So, and this is just the start of it. So,
Great.
What else is going on? So, big news.
Yep.
Drum roll. Congratulations to you. You
I know.
accepted a job
I
offer?
did. I just I was trying to hold off on saying anything because I've been doing quite a bit of interviews.
You didn't want
with
to
this
jinx yourself,
company.
baby. I know you're very
you know how it
superstitious with
is.
that.
And you never want to like go, hey, I'm doing this, and then like half the people keep on asking you how it's going, and you not get the job. It makes you feel even worse. So I did finally get a job offer last week. So you can no longer
Make fun of you with that?
you can no longer chastise me, I guess,
Chastise?
for not having a job and not having a time.
It's not a chastise thing. It's more of a motivator, Hoon. Like, how much can I motivate and annoy you until you'll do something?
You did annoy me quite a bit.
I did, right? And so I'm looking out for you. I would send you like job postings I would see and things like that. So congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
My heart of hearts. I was really worried about you for a little bit. I thought you were going to be like one of those guys holding a sign off a Royal Lane exit here in a couple years.
Hey, I would do that, actually. They make good money.
Really? That's right.
So I hear. So I hear.
But speaking with the job, I travel a little bit for work, and I know with this new job you're traveling a little bit, but that's gonna be exciting. A lot of perks with traveling.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to go to a lot of places that you normally wouldn't go, like Cleveland, Ohio, Bangor, Maine.
But the thing is that you go to a lot of places that you wouldn't choose to go
No,
either.
did you just hear what I said? Cleveland, Ohio, and
Hey,
Bangor,
you
Maine.
know what? I wouldn't mind going there.
What's in Cleveland other than LeBron?
I don't know. Actually.
Exactly. No, but
What is in Cleveland? Is there any kind of like parks or anything like museums?
I'm
or
sure
anything?
they have a park.
Well, I'm sure that's what I'm saying. Do they have anything
Cleveland.
like famous though? Like,
I don't know.
do they have like? I mean, what's like the attraction that I would want to go? Like, they're trying to get tourists
In
to the
Cleveland?
city. Yeah.
That's actually a really good question. I don't know.
Look that up right now. I'm actually, because there must be something that's famous in Cleveland.
Let's see. Cleveland.
Wait a second. Besides, I mean, besides sports teams, what else must be? There must be
Things to
something.
do in Cleveland. Let's see.
What's the number one thing to do in Cleveland?
Number one thing to do in Cleveland is LeBron
The
James.
Cavs?
LeBron James.
Goodness gracious. It's sad when one person makes up your entire city.
Yeah,
here.
but it's funny because you go to cities like Cleveland, which you probably wouldn't go to normally. What other places I've been to personally? Like I went to like Boca Raton, Florida, which I would probably never go to.
Raton.
It's like a big retirement community down kind of near Miami, but that's cool. I mean,
I've heard of Boca Raton. Isn't it like in a lot of movies where they...
Yeah, it's you'll hear it referenced in like we're retiring in Boca Raton. It was more like an 80s sitcoms and stuff like that. You'll see a lot of New Yorkers live there actually because same time zone, so they want to stay in the same time zone, and it's actually a short flight to New York.
Is it?
It's like 3.5 hour flight, so it's not too bad. But like I said, you can go to a lot of places you probably would not go to on your own. You get to rack up the points, which is awesome.
I guess you can consider that a perk.
Yeah, you rack up the points, and then you could become a fatty again.
That I am concerned about that.
Oh my
because
goodness.
I'm going to be, when you're on the road, you don't exactly pay attention to what you're eating, and you tend to try to eat the best things that are out there. And
exactly.
I do get a per diem, like 4 meals, and be treating like people out to dinner. So
When are you taking me to dinner? Well, I don't remember last
you know
time
what?
you
You
took me
know
to
what?
dinner.
I will be treating you. You'll be one of the first
Oh.
people I treat out to dinner, Ben.
Okay, great. It's like you're just randomly taking random people to dinner. Obviously, the job that you're taking is in the field that I'm in. So, yeah, I do expect a nice lunch or dinner. But you'll get the points, you'll get the airline miles. Man, it just racks up. And Will wants dinner too.
You know what?
You can make that happen.
This will be part of my onboarding process with this new job. I'll be taking.
And Jeannie too. I saw Jeannie's head pop out. Like, what about me?
We'll be going to Mom's Burgers and chicken wings.
I heard that place is pretty good.
So you know what? You went there this week, right?
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, the kids loved it. Jeannie was there, and
wait. Why is this place so famous?
I don't know. It has something to do with someone's significant other owning it.
That could be a possibility. And I heard they have great Yelp reviews as well. I heard their kimchi burger is awesome.
Yeah, and we've been told to back off for the no free ads here.
Yeah.
So Jeannie, I expect your boyfriend to reach out to Will and make sure you get that advertising set up. No, but it was good food, and the kids liked it. We were talking about it before here. In fact, kids are getting hungry right now. They're sitting inside the studio area. My wife's doing a good job of holding them down, but we're going to go eat some good food, Korean food, right after the show. What else went on? So we talked. Oh, go ahead.
This past weekend, Ben, before our break, birthday party.
Yeah, so we talked about last week, and I'll post some pictures on our Facebook page, but Darth Vader visited Andrew. Andrew, did Darth Vader come to your house? He's going to say, yeah. Yeah? Did Darth Vader come to your house? He's a little off camera here, but yeah, we had fun. The weather cooperated with us. I know we've been having some crazy weather here, but we had a small window on Saturday where the weather cooperated. Kids were able to get in the pool. Darth Vader made his appearance. It was fun.
Dude, you had the that suit was just a little bit small on you, and you had the biggest wedgie I've ever seen in my life.
Why were you looking at my butt?
Cause I was trying to
I
was trying to put your cape on you, and then your butt looked like Humpty Dumpty, like with like the biggest wedgie I've ever seen. It was
okay.
It was hard to look at.
I'm gonna go try it. I'm gonna wear it next week, and we'll take a picture of it. How about that? Should I wear it? No.
You should.
I'll wear it when we go to do the 4th of July thing at the zoo. So I'll definitely do that then. But speaking of the weather, man, craziness.
I know.
I know we were hit hard over the past week or so. And Houston got hit hard, big time.
You just never know what's going to happen. Like, I mean, even yesterday, I went to go play tennis in the afternoon.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and because it looked like we had a couple-hour window, but then it started sprinkling on us and started getting all windy, so it looked like it was going to start raining, and so we were about to pack up, and it got nice again. And then we stopped packing up, we started playing, and it started raining again. Kept on going back and forth, and we just didn't know what to do. We ended up finishing, but it was just It was pain.
Yeah, and then in Houston, so my family lives in Houston, and that reminds me, big shout out to my brother. It's my brother's birthday today.
That's
so
right. Happy birthday,
Hung. May
Mark.
27th, 2015. One more year to 40, Hung, so better catch up. But it's funny because I was talking to my dad. I was like, hey, is everything okay? Are you guys good in Houston? Because my parents live in a neighborhood that has this huge ditch in front of their house that flows water away. And sometimes there's some concerns with flooding in Houston, of course, obviously. And talking to my brother, I'm talking to my dad, and he's like, oh, my sister-in-law's car got flooded. And the engine flooded and the car is destroyed.
Are you supposed to be saying this though, Ben?
Well,
Because he's the one that, okay.
So that was the story I got from my dad, right? And then, so I turned around and called my brother, like, hey, Hung, what happened? Like, why did Jisoo drive her car into the water? And he's like, actually, it was me that drove the car into the water. I was like, what? And I was like, why'd you do that? And it's funny because when I try to speak up to my brother, he's just like, hey, watch who you're talking to here. But he said he was like a block from his house. He could see his house, and it was dark at night. And, I can understand if they're really close to their house and they think they can get there. Let's try to get through it. And they didn't think the water was that deep. But going through it, water started coming in through the doors, and he started gunning it, and kukukung.
That's why I raised my 4Runner. Just in case that ever happened.
So they should have raised her G37 sedan.
She could have.
They could have done that. So, but, good thing he had full coverage insurance, and they're going to do some car shopping. So, again, happy birthday to my brother Mark. With that, let's go ahead and take a break. Wow, Will's queuing up a commercial, which
oh my
was
goodness,
a very exciting commercial that Hoon recorded over the weekend. So we'll be right back.
Hear this. Do you love having a good time, like hanging out with friends, grabbing a few drinks while singing your heart out? Well, Family Karaoke wants to invite you to come check out the best karaoke sound system in town. Now here's the best part. Tell them you heard this ad on Next Gen Connections, and they're going to give you 25% off. That's right, 25% off. But this deal is only good for the month of June and July, so make sure you get out there as soon as possible. Family Karaoke is located on Goodnight Lane, right off of Royal Lane. So let's kick off the summer with family.
Over 4 months ago, Dallas Korean Network began something that had never been done before, believing in giving the second-generation Asian Americans a platform to voice their thoughts and opinions, while also creating their own entertainment. Next Gen Connections was birthed, and its first show, Fresh Off the Pod, aired in late October 2014. Beginning the first week of March, Next Gen Connections will begin airing 4 shows targeting Asian Americans. Fresh Off the Pod, The Minority League, K-Pop Hour, and Next Gen Talk looks to bring a variety of topics to the Asian American community in the DFW area. DKNet and Next Gen Connections ask for your support as we strive to do something that has never been done before. For more information on shows and Next Gen Connections, go to www.nextgenconnections.org. Thank you for your support.
Awesome. Welcome back. Hoon, great job in that commercial, by the way. I heard it took like 100 takes.
I'm not sure if any sponsor would want me.
No,
you're being
very modest. I'm sure the Carrollton Senior Citizen Club is ready to sign up after hearing that stirring ad. But great job there. We recorded another ad, but I'm sure it'll come up here a little bit later too as well. Again, we've always talked about this. Make sure you go check out and support nextgenconnections.org. Check out the other shows that are out there, the Minority League, K-Pop Hour, and Fresh Off the Pod. Great shows and great work. I know we talked about it before last week, and we teased it a little bit before, but 4th of July is coming up. Make sure everyone comes out. It's 80s night. They'll have an 80s tribute band. Hoon and I will be, I don't know if we're going to be live broadcasting. We'll be recording at least out there. And Hoon is going to dress up as Optimus Prime or something?
Nah, dude. I got my Zach Morris outfit going on.
Oh, you did? You know what? So I can get an old cell phone from work, maybe.
There you go, right there.
That big
Morris,
brick phone?
that brick
I can
phone?
ask someone that has one in the office. Maybe I'll do Darth Vader or something else, but that should be fun.
So this is going to be at the Dallas Zoo on July 4th.
4th of July, of course, fireworks. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, so this next segment, I've talked about this before on other shows I've been on too, but for those of you guys who don't know, I'm an avid sneaker, buff, sneakerhead, we would say.
So for people who can't see this, Ben put his shoes on the freaking table. Why would you put your dirty shoes on the table?
These are clean. These are clean. Look at the bottoms of these shoes. Look how clean these bottoms of shoes are.
Look at the bottom.
I'm not gonna do that.
And prove it to me that
No,
that's clean.
so
Prove it to
that's-
me.
no,
See,
no, no.
it's not clean.
No.
You wouldn't lick it.
I'm telling you, that's taboo in the sneaker community. People do that. They'll like
Really? Why
yeah.
is that?
It's so like it's childish, and it's like people make fun of. Like, I'll show you a thread later where people are making fun of people that have licked their shoes. Like,
Really?
Yeah, with
I didn't know that was a thing though.
It is.
Why would you lick it? I
the
was just
worst one.
joking.
There's worst one is this guy that makes out with his shoe. It's pretty disgusting. But anyways,
Is that you?
it is not me.
Okay, just
but
making sure.
These are just one of my favorites. These are some Kobe 8s from a couple years ago, and I like the color. I'm representing the Rockets today, although I don't think they have a good chance. Sorry, Jeff Chin. But I got some Kobe's here. And I'm just displaying them out here. My props.
Ben picked this segment because I have no idea.
Exactly. So I'm big in collecting shoes, right? Collecting shoes, wearing shoes, playing basketball in shoes. A big retro fan, and my loving wife is very understanding of my hobby.
And you and Jeff even have like a shoe blog on like a Facebook.
Yeah,
or
on Facebook we have Ben and Jeff Shoe Review. But Jeff is actually taking a step further. He has a website called Sorry, I don't even know. Schwollo.com. SCHWOLLO.com. Hoops, shoe, and other gear reviews.
Wow, I get those reviews like all the time and on my Facebook feed. I'm like, what in the world is this? Like, you guys are talking like a foreign language.
I know.
To me.
Well, Jeff does. I've kind of fallen off. Jeff's actually taken the lead on it, and he created his own separate website. But if you search certain shoes, like his website will come up as the #1 search.
Wow.
It will. It's that popular. He's done a really good job. So shout out to you, Jeff. Again, it's Schwollo.com.
And once again, that's free advertising that we keep on doing.
Will's not in the booth. So with that, I came up with a quick sneaker quiz. And this quiz is, it's sneaker related. It's also, athlete related too. So here's the first one, Hoon.
Okay, so you're testing my knowledge.
Why would I test?
I'm already going to get a 0 unless it's about Converse.
No. So we'll check it out. Let's see if you know. It's multiple choice.
Okay.
Okay. The term Zoom is considered what?
Zoom?
Yep. A, Nike Air cushioning. B, a fast runner. C, a type of shoelace.
I think it's A.
Wow, Hoon.
Dude, I know at least that much.
Oh, good.
Hey,
Good job.
Thanks for humoring me.
Zoom Air is actually one of my favorite cushioning technologies. And I'll take these insoles out and let you play with this.
Oh my gosh.
So this is the insole of the Kobe 8. And in the insole is, you can see this little pad right here, this crash pad on the bottom. And this is Zoom Air. And so what it is, it's, Nike Air, regular air cushioning. You feel a little bubble. Inside here, there are little fibers. There are tensile fibers. So every time you have impact on the air pocket, the fibers actually bounce back and give you a little popping effect. But you're pressed into it, so you can feel that.
I'm feeling your dirty old soul on your.
I take care of my shoes. My feet are very clean. Didn't you feel a little bounce back?
It just feels like just anything I'm ever. I don't understand what you're.
Part of it is
what's so interesting about that.
Well, you gotta.
It feels exactly the same as I'm holding this little bottle of water I'm holding.
You're holding.
Feels exactly the same as what you just did right there.
It is not. You're just being. You're exaggerating. Jeff's gonna come out and just berate you here in a little bit.
It actually feels better. This little bottle of water.
That little bottle of water feels better than Zoom Air cushioning. Okay, so I'm gonna challenge. You wear some bottles of water on your feet.
Yeah, it's called
Zoom Air.
that's why they made beds out of called water beds, right? Because they're comfortable.
Do water beds even exist today?
I don't know, do they?
Exactly. All right, let's go on. Lunar Lawn is what? A, moon shoes, a Nike designer's name, or C, Nike foam cushioning.
I'm guessing it's C.
Oh, okay, very good. It is another form of cushioning. You might see it in a lot of runners.
So is really when you think of sneakers, is really Nike the premier sneaker to really get these days, or is it is Reebok still in play, or
no, they are
Jordache?
No, definitely not Jordache. Did Jordache have shoes?
Yeah, dude.
I don't think so.
I had my high top Jordache.
Oh, okay.
Back in
San Angelo, they had it. But no, Nike does own the market share. And I'm not a homer for Nike, even though a lot of my products are Nike. But other companies do make some great product too as well.
Like what? I mean, because I only hear
Reebok,
about Air Jordans, right? And that's pretty much my relatively. But do people really I mean, when you think of sneakerheads like you guys, is Nike really the premier brand? Comparable to Asics and are great for running, but you guys don't collect those. It's mostly about basketball shoes, right?
There are some people that are it's Jordan or Nike or bust. If they'll make fun of you if you're wearing Adidas. I'm not like that. I know Jeff's not like that too.
But if you think about most sneakerheads though, it's kind of is that kind of
I think it's about 50-50.
Ah,
It's
okay.
about 50. You'll see some, like really people that are real just Nike fans, and then other people are more open. Most of the reviewers that you see on the web are more open,
Okay.
and they're not just Nike. All right, this one is more about signature athletes.
signature athlete.
So I'm going to give you an acronym, and I know you're not a big sports fan.
Okay.
But let's see how many of these you can get.
Okay.
AI.
AI. AI.
It doesn't stand for Andrew M. But it's a signature athlete.
Signature athlete that I would probably is he pretty famous?
Yeah, he's pretty darn famous.
AI.
Me, he's yelling out.
Maybe it's the pressure. Oh, hold on. What is it? He plays basketball?
Yes.
I would guess. Allen Iverson.
You got it. Allen Iverson with me, he's help here. All right, here's another one. If you don't know this one, Ghostface Driller.
Ghostface Driller.
You keep on looking at me, she's not paying attention. Ghostface Driller.
I have no idea who Ghostface Driller is. Is that
It's not a
is
very...
that a racist term?
Ghostface Driller. Dirk Nowitzki.
Is that really his nickname?
It's one of the nicknames that he has. He has
Okay,
very
you know what?
nicknames.
That's interesting. I do like the Mavericks, so that's funny.
What about the Diesel?
The Diesel?
Look at me, he doesn't know
Is
this one.
Wait a second. Hold on. The Diesel?
The Diesel.
Okay, I'm going to guess it's Is this an older athlete or is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not super old, but he's retired in the last couple years or so.
The Diesel.
The Diesel.
I don't know.
Shaq.
Okay, that makes sense.
Shaq Diesel.
I have no idea. Dude, do people actually say these nicknames?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, what about the King?
The King.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's LeBron.
Okay, that's an easy one. I'll give you a layup there.
Yeah.
Black Mamba.
It's not Kobe.
Oh, see, you know that one.
That's actually, yeah. I do
Okay,
know that
I'm going
one.
to be really impressed if you get this one.
Okay.
Panda Friend.
Panda Friend. Panda Friend.
That is seriously his nickname.
Is it Jeremy Lin?
Sorry, I ran into the microphone, got laughing so much. How racist of you, Hoon. Panda Friend was actually a basketball player named Ron Artest, who, when he retired from the
okay.
NBA, moved to China. He legally changed his name to Panda Friend.
Oh, wow, okay.
And he had these awesome shoes. He had these panda shoes.
Nice,
Like these
nice,
shoes
cool.
that
That
the
sounds
company
cool.
made for him that had this stuffed animal panda looking on them. Jeremy Lin. All right, next one. This is more maybe up your alley.
Okay.
So the Reebok pump was worn by this
Ooh, I
famous...
love those shoes.
Exactly. So the Reebok pump and the pump technology, right? You pump
Yeah.
it up, was worn by this famous tennis player. A. Hoon Choi, B. Andre Agassi, or C. Michael Chang.
Ooh. I'm going to guess it was Michael Chang.
It was Michael Chang. How come
Yeah.
you didn't pick yourself?
Because
Did you
I'm
own a
pretty
pair?
famous. I did. That was the most expensive shoes I've ever owned.
Really?
And like, I tried to take care of them as much as possible. Even when they blew out, I actually tore out the pump so I could just pump it up and press that little button to let it go.
But I remember because I had the basketball version.
Oh, okay.
But the tennis, I remember that my friends had the tennis ball one.
Uh-huh.
I remember I used to make fun of it because this tennis ball was made out of felt and it would get dirty.
Mine was the cross trainer.
Oh, you
Yeah.
didn't have the tennis one. So
I didn't have the but are those coming back? Those were a great idea.
yeah, they're actually out in the market right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're great. It's kind of like, you know what reminds me of? Back to the Future.
It is.
Remember
It
like
is.
how like, you know, like it just automatically conforms to your
McFly's.
feet?
Yeah, there's rumors that they're actually making one that automatically air
really?
pumping one.
That's kind of neat. I
But,
would be down for that.
Yeah, you know, Michael Chang, he won what's the deal? French Open?
French Open.
With the underhand serve.
Yeah, against Lindell.
Yep. All right. Who is the famous Nike designer that created the Kevin Durant line? So this designer created the Kevin Durant signature shoe line. Tinker Hatfield, Scoops McGee, Kim Jong Un, or Leo Chang.
I'm gonna guess it's the number one option.
Tinker Hatfield?
Yeah.
It's close. I mean, he's probably one of the most famous Nike designers of all time.
Okay.
He created a lot of the Jordans. It wasn't Scoops McGee, and it wasn't Kim Jong Un. Probably would claim it, but it wasn't him. But Leo Chang, who's actually an Asian American.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, it's cool. So Leo Chang is a. I've never met him personally, obviously, but I've read articles and he's done interviews on YouTube. But looks like a real laid back guy, and he created the KD line.
And I heard he's also a panda friend.
He is a friend of Panda. So this will blow your mind here.
Okay.
What was LeBron James's original Nike contract worth over 7 years? And this is just straight out of high school. They had no idea how good he was going to be
For 7 years.
For 7 years.
Like
Guaranteed money.
100 million.
That's close.
Really?
$90 million.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Like he could have busted, right?
Yeah.
He could have came out and been just like, and like been a bust. Because there have been high school players that have been busts. Mm-hmm. And he
Who's the
still
most
walked
famous
away.
one that's been the bust?
Sam Bowie. No, did Sam Bowie go to college? I mean, there's a lot of them that have been busts. But LeBron could have been a bust, but he could have walked away with still $90 million. Wow. Which is crazy. All right, a little time for a little more. Hey, this is more up your alley too. So which professional golfer gets exclusive Jordan shoes?
Exclusive Jordan shoes?
Yep. A, Tiger Woods. B, KJ Choi. C, Keegan Bradley. Or D, Bubba Watson.
Man, is it Tiger Woods? Or, oh, wait a second, you're looking at me like I'm wrong. I'm going to guess maybe
KJ Choi. You see KJ Choi wearing Jordans?
Is it Bubba Watson?
No, it's Keegan Bradley.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that
Interesting.
weird? So I guess, years ago, like he struck up a relationship with MJ.
Mm-hmm.
And from then on, like all the cool shoes that come out, Jordan Brand makes a special golf pair for him.
Like a version of that basketball shoe
But he plays
for
with
golf.
Yeah, with cleats on them.
Huh.
And then there's just exclusive one-outs for Keegan Bradley.
So you know what? I couldn't buy those.
No. They're called PEs. You'll hear that term also in the sneaker world, PE, player exclusives. And he's the only one that gets them.
Is he sponsored by Nike as well?
I don't know if he's actually sponsored by Nike, but I know he gets those special shoes. And he did a interview where he shows his shoe closet, and you can see all the Jordan PEs he has.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, you did actually really well.
Appreciate that.
And maybe because my knowledge of in telling you about my shoes, and maybe you read Jeff's shoe blog, but my only caveat with shoes is that like I buy them on a budget. I'll rarely buy shoes at full price, and I think Jeff's the same way too as well. Like for example, on his website he's got like these D Rose 5s. They originally launched at $140. Now they're like $55.
This still amazes me. Like, I hear articles about people shooting each other for like shoes.
Yeah, that is pretty sad.
And like the way Jordans come out, it's really like it's so exclusive that people are trying to get it, and they're trying to flip them as well and also collect them.
That is
and
big market for that.
It's still amazing because for me, like shoes are shoes. They're just to go on your feet. But this market here, there's a
don't lick. I don't lick my shoes.
It's interesting. This whole it's almost a culture, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
The way how big this has become.
Yep.
And how much is Michael Jordan making up the Air Jordan line? Seriously. Is that part of the reason why he's become one of the first billionaires?
Yeah,
billionaires,
for sure
right?
it is. Yeah, for sure. All right, so thanks for playing along, Hoon.
Cool.
I appreciate that. And we're gonna go and take a break, and we'll come right back.
You don't have to say a word. Just know that if ever you want to come back to me, I'll be here waiting for you.
Trust the warmth inside. Can you feel my love alive? 어제처럼 오늘도 아무 일 없는 듯이 그리고 please don't tell me why 이렇게 돌아서지만 나를 떠나가는 이유를 난 묻진 않을게요 Cause I love you 내게 이런 말 하기가 쉽진 않았을 거야 생각해봤어
언젠가 이별이 오면 그때 떠난 내 마음이 미안하지 않게 좋은 추억으로 간직하게 널 웃으며 보내준다고
So baby, faith is all we need. It was love that set us free. 처음처럼 you will always be loved. 이별은 아무런 얘기 없이 하지만 love forever lives. 다시는 볼 수 없어도 나의 가슴 속에 언제나 그대 영원하겠죠.
언젠가 내 모습도 다시 처음처럼 그립다면 그냥 돌아오면 돼. Don't you know I love you?
Trust the warmth inside. Can you feel my love? Can you feel 어제처럼? 오늘도 아무 일 없는 듯이 그리고 please don't tell me why 이렇게 돌아서지만 나를 떠나가는 이유를 난 묻진 않을게요. So baby, faith is all we need. It was love that set us free. 처음처럼 you will always be loved. 이별은 아무런 얘기 없이 하지만 love forever lives. 다시는 볼 수 없어도 나의 가슴 속에 언제나 그대 영원하겠죠.
Cause you're all I'm dreaming of. Have faith in our destiny.
All right, welcome back. Another song from Blast from the Past. I used to love that song. Do you remember Hoon?
I do remember Jay.
You said I was obsessed with Jay.
You were.
Because she was one of the first, I think, Korean Americans
Oh, that's right.
that made
I
it
forgot
big
she
in
was
K-pop.
Korean, yeah.
And so she would go on those shows and speak English like us, and then also have perfect Korean too.
Or was it just because you thought she was hot? Ben?
She was pretty. I thought she was pretty. I have no idea what she looks like now, but I'm sure she could still hang.
You know what I forgot to mention, Ben? Like I was going to mention this in the intro because I read about it right before I came here. You know they're making another pointless remake of another movie,
I know. I think I know what you're talking about.
Point Break.
Pointless, no pun intended. Yeah, I saw the preview of it today.
Goodness,
It's terrible.
I was like, did you hear that one line where he's like, I don't think they're criminals. I think they're also extreme athletes.
I'm like,
I was like, whoa,
Extreme.
my God, they're so extreme.
so is it a literal remake or is it a continuation of the story?
No, it's supposed to be a remake because they're the same names.
Oh, that's okay. That's why I was catching that, but I don't remember the exact names of the original
Yeah.
character of Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it looks so horrible.
Is it like a Christmas launch?
Yeah, they actually used supposedly that's a Christmas launch, and their budget was actually pretty big.
Really?
But why would they make another remake of a movie that they just don't need? It baffles my mind.
I
just
agree.
wanted to, that was just a small rant I just want to do because they keep on the whole thing about movies these days. They keep on remaking things.
I
And
know.
there's no original ideas anymore. It's really oh well, okay.
Yeah, speaking of no original ideas, I wanted to talk about I've been watching this channel on YouTube for a while.
Yeah, you send me a link like every other day
'Cause
with-
it's awesome.
with this YouTube.
Jay Leno's Garage. So I'm sure our audience knows who Jay Leno is. He was the Tonight Show host for I don't know forever, but and also a comedian and multimillionaire over and over again. So this is how he fuels his car habit. But he's a big gearhead. Not only cars but motorcycles too.
Yeah,
so
what
he's
a
got,
life.
So I know, right? And he's got this huge setup at his house in California where he's got like this huge garage filled with cars galore. Anything from little cheap cars. I think he has a Chevy Volt that he drives daily. 1900s early cars all the way up to Bugatti Veyron supercars. And he's also got this shop where he's got like people working there. Like he's got a staff that works and tunes all his cars.
Just maintains his cars.
It's crazy. And can you imagine that? How envious we would be of that. But on the show, on the YouTube channel, he's always posting videos, car reviews, and he'll have guests on. But I was trying to find this one clip he had where he has this like I don't know what the machine is called. Nacho will probably know, but basically it can make any part. Like
those
CNC machines.
Yeah, CNC machines.
It's crazy. Like say he's working on a car from like the 50s or the 40s or something like that, and he can't find a part.
He just needs a CAD file, right?
Yeah,
and
he
just makes it.
He CAD file, or he'll scan the part as much as he can, and then the freaking machine will make it.
Yeah, that's straight up like
That's gangsta.
That's straight up like futuristic right there.
It's straight up gangsta because you got a lot of money, you can do that. But
for me, I use zip ties for everything.
Zip ties for everything. But recently, I sent you a couple clips, and I'm a big Honda fan. I've got my S2000, but I think a couple months ago, Jay Leno did his own review on a Honda S600, and this car was built in the '60s. I believe his was a 1964 Honda S600 convertible, chain driven, which is kind of cool.
That's neat.
It's like 400 cc's. This very small engine.
No,
Yeah, it was a 400 cc engine because he talks about the other one he did. It was like the other one that guy brought in is 1,000 cc's. And 9,500 redline for a car in 1964, which is crazy.
that's pretty neat.
And then even in that clip when he was driving it, he's like, "Man, this is like the best sounding car I own." And he owns like all these cars, all these supercars.
It did sound mean.
It did sound awesome. But most recently, he had, I guess, a tuner come out and bring out his Honda S600 that he modified himself, and he put a motorcycle engine. I think did he put a R1 engine in it?
No, it was but it was a 1100 cc motor he put in there,
That thing sounded awesome.
and he converted it from a chain to a drive shaft, I think.
And I
too.
didn't understand how you did the shifter too. And it was right hand drive.
No, it's the way they do it. It's just like the way they do how you do rally cars too. Which is just up, down, just like because it has the transmission of a motorcycle.
That's what I was thinking.
So it's just up, down. Because if you think about how you shift a motorcycle, just your left pedal is up, down. You just convert that into like a stick. It's pretty simplistic.
You should do it.
About it.
Do it in your next car. Yeah. It's very simplistic when you think about it, exactly. But I'm sure it took a lot of work to do it and put it together. But that car sounded mean.
Yeah, you know what? There's another car back in the day that used it. It was a real small convertible car that used a motorcycle engine as well. It's called the Berkeley.
Really?
And yeah. So a lot of people don't know about it. It's tiny. You can fit it on the back of a minivan. Like if you put all the seats down, you can put it literally in the back
Berkeley.
of in the back of a minivan, and it uses a bike engine.
Okay.
It's chain driven, same thing.
Yeah. And then I also pulled up one about the Ronin motorcycle. I like that one. I like the design of it.
Yeah.
And I like the backstory, how like they used Buell motorcycles that went out of business.
That was neat.
That was cool.
I like the name of it, the 47 Ronin bicycle.
Yeah. And I liked how like when he was doing the riding review, he was talking about, because you own a cafe racer too.
Yep.
And like how he was saying, hey, most cafe racers, like you're slung down a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty uncomfortable.
But this, he had said the handlebars were up, and like he had a good point. Like when the wind is pushing up, it actually your seating position, it's not too stressful on you. You're not hunched over.
Yeah, it looked pretty comfortable.
I
thought it looked weird because the fork was straight up and down, and so it looked like I don't know, it looked kind of odd the seating position. But it's a cool looking bike.
I think your Miata could have made it on Jay Leno's garage.
You know what? It would have been very close.
No,
Miata
I'm
was very
serious.
unique.
Because like I think he's very he's a modest guy. I know we talked about him being like a multimillionaire, but even the Honda S600 that he had on there, it wasn't a pretty looking car, right?
Yeah.
The guy didn't really do any body work to it, I think he really appreciates like that kind of detail, like the lack of detail in some cars like that. Of course, like the high end supercars, you need to be like very like, oh, this car needs to be like super clean. But your next thing, you should do that.
Go for Jay Leno's garage.
No, seriously. I mean, your cars are very unique. I give you that. And maybe that's why it took you forever to sell the cars, because you have to find a very unique person to buy it.
You gotta find the right person.
But with this new job, new opportunity, right?
Yeah. Well, it's not gonna be less time to work on my cars though, too.
Hey, that's what you got the weekends for, buddy. Weekends. So I think it's a cool. Have you started looking for cars?
Not really, but I think it'll be long ways down the road because
Did you say long duck dong? Long
Dude,
dong.
I did say long, but the last part you just made up.
It sounded like you were going down the path of long duck dong down the road. But you should do it. And I think we should submit a video and send it to Jay Leno.
Yeah, but I just gotta get my Forerunner running right. And
maybe we can submit your Forerunner.
Yeah,
for Jay Leno's garage.
I got big plans for that as well.
Yo, you didn't get the snorkel?
Yeah. Maybe after your brother's story, I might have to now.
You should
And
do
with
it.
all this weather that's going on.
With the weather.
You remember when you said that name, Long Duck?
Automobile?
Yeah,
It's from
that's
16
exactly what-
Candles.
that's what I was thinking of. That. I used to watch that in high school. I took an RTF class, and my teacher was so lazy. He literally made it watch 16 Candles. I think I watched that in one semester about 8 times. He just put that on, and that's all we watched. 16 Candles. It was the most ridiculous class I've ever taken. But hey, you know what? I'm not gonna complain about watching a
16
movie.
Candles?
Yeah,
Over
I'm not
and
gonna
over
complain
again?
about watching a movie for that long. So it's no big deal. Back in high school, that was like a nice break.
That was a good bonus when like the teacher's like, oh, we're watching a movie.
Yeah, remember when they rolled in that big TV with the big tray?
I wonder how they do it now. Does everyone have iPads?
No,
Or
I
do
think they
people
have
watch
like
at their desk?
LCD screens in like every
Or projector.
classroom.
Boo.
Yeah.
Not like the VHS.
Man, I remember when that teacher would pull in that TV on that big cart. Oh man, that was
I
the
know.
day.
That was the day. And sometimes the movie would run longer. Like, oh, yes, we get to continue it tomorrow.
I know. Oh man, that was awesome.
All right. Well, cool. With that,
We got plenty of time, Ben.
no, we don't. We'll start off at 41.
Oh yeah, never mind.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back. Hey, everyone. Ben and Hoon here.
And you know what, Ben?
What's up, Hoon?
I'm craving some good food right now, but I don't know exactly what I'm craving.
Okay. Let's narrow it down here a little bit.
Okay, well, that's the thing. I'm craving a nice juicy burger, but I'm also craving some good tacos, but I'm also craving some Korean. What should I do here?
Hoon, that's so darn easy. LA Burger.
What, LA burger?
Yes, LA Burger. Listen, man, this is LA Burger's mission statement: to creatively introduce the unique flavors of Korean cuisine to diners by fusing it with familiar flavors of American fare.
So as always, Ben, you're overcomplicating things. You're basically saying it's a perfect mix of all my favorite flavors.
Absolutely. Burgers, tacos, fries, hoagies, and much more, all mixed with a little bit of our favorite Korean flavors.
All right, dude, I think LA burger it is.
So, dude, next time when you're hungry and unsure of what you want, stop thinking about it. Just make your way straight to LA Burger.
And don't forget, there are 3 locations, Irving, Carrollton, and Richardson. And when you go, make sure you say hello to John and Ben Lee for us.
Absolutely. Tell them that Ben and Hoon sent you. Wow. Cool
Ben.
commercial.
LA burger!
LA Burger!
Oh my goodness. If you weren't tired of hearing our voices already in the show, then you're also going to hear it on the commercials.
And hear Andrew crying in the background. It's okay, son. And Esther slammed the door.
Oh my gosh. That's why Andrew is going crazy right now.
I think they're a little hungry.
Separation anxiety.
I know, but
I
we got-
cry when you leave me too, Ben. I'm like, Appa, Ben!
Appa? You call me Appa? Okay. No, but I had fun recording that commercial, so we really appreciate our support of our
But LA
sponsors.
Burger really is good, though.
It is really
It's
good.
one of my favorite burgers here in Dallas.
Yes.
Their LA Burger with the egg and the kimchi on there.
And the other place, which
Dang.
will not be named by name, you might have some competition unless they start
oh,
advertising. it.
Mom's Burgers.
Oh,
sorry
no.
about that.
All right. So we're gonna every show we go into a segment and talk about who's telling us a little story here.
This one, like you
Dude,
know
I'm
what?
surprised that I thought you were gonna shoot me down when I suggested
You
this
know,
story.
this one's kind of like
Look, I
I'm not
call
sure
it-
if it's PG.
So it's
but
the creeper
I guess
story.
it is PG.
It's the
but,
creeper
like,
story.
Nothing happened, but it's just yeah. Obviously,
Nothing
this
happened.
is really like I had So, I mean, I don't know if I can some of the words I don't know if I can even say on this show though. That's the biggest issue, cause this story is when I was in high school. Well, I guess it was junior high / high school when I was going to high school. Told you when I was growing up, there wasn't like once again not many Asians, but I was also really cool and I watched a lot of anime. Awesome, I know, but I didn't really know anyone who really watched anime or who even talked about it. And I never really told anyone else because I didn't want to alienate
don't wanna be like,
myself.
"Oh, you're a nerd."
I know, even further than I already am. So I used to watch that secretly, just as I did Gem and the holograms. But so I used to go to the comic book store, and they used to have like an anime section, like anime comic books. And these days, you guys you can read them all on the internet, whatever. But back in the day, it was hard to get. So I would actually go there and I'd get a anime comic books. I would actually they had a box set aside for me of anime comic books. And one day I went there, and there was a note for me inside the comic book box said, "Hey, I'm into anime too.
A
let's
note?
talk."
Like a handwritten
I was
note?
like, yeah. I was like, check off if you say yes or no. But like, it's like I'm into anime too. Give me a call and let's
Give me a call. Okay,
let's
so how old were
trade.
you again?
I was 15. 14 at the time.
Oh, so young, so innocent.
So I was like, oh yeah, let's trade anime, because it was back in the day when the way you watched anime was that you would mail other people a blank VHS tape, and they would mail you
blank VHS tape.
Yep, and then you would record what anime you have, and then you send it to them, and they
What
send it
the
back to
heck?
you. It was a whole underground anime trading system. And it was it was very complicated and it took too much time, pretty much.
You mailed videotapes through the mail.
Yeah,
VHS tapes.
Yeah, I still have like 3 huge boxes of VHS tapes, of anime VHS tapes.
Haven't those degraded over time though?
I'm sure they have. I mean, throwing them away, but that's besides the point. So this guy said that he had like a whole bunch of anime VHS tapes. So me, I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. I don't have to wait, and I don't have to send people blank tapes.
So how old was this guy?
This guy was 23. So this guy, he reached out to me, and I was like, for me, 15-year-old self, all I heard was like he had a whole bunch of anime tapes. I was super excited. So I met this guy. He was about 23, Scottish guy. Real red hair.
Beard?
Yeah, he was a ginger. So and he worked at the one of the Japanese restaurants there as a busser.
Okay.
And he really loved the Asian culture, I guess, and that's why he worked there as well, to be part of the Asian culture, I guess.
Yep.
And so we would meet up, and I'm like, oh hey, what's up? You know, we talk about anime. He would loan me his anime tapes, which was awesome. And I was like, man,
So where would you meet up at?
Like, we just meet up at random places. Sometimes I'd go to his house. And like,
Whoa.
because I'd have to look at his anime tapes, and
So
like,
so this 23-year-old-ish guy.
but you know, you don't think about that kind of stuff. You know, back then it was like, oh, whatever. You know, like,
see the innocence.
So like,
the innocence.
for a while, so I just thought I hit the jackpot, and I was like, yes, this is awesome. So I would go over there, and I would just keep on like getting tapes, right? And then so once after a while, like he worked really late because the restaurant didn't close till late. And after a while, he would go, hey, you know what? Can we meet after I get off of work? I'm like, sure, that's fine, you know? And then I didn't want to stop my flow of anime, you know? So it was
Your anime flow?
because he did keep on calling me a little way too much. And back then I didn't have a cell phone. He would just call my house phone. And then my mom would be like, who's this guy that's calling all the time? And so like he would come over like after work around 1 a.m. when everybody was asleep. And I'd be like, okay, sure. You know, I didn't think it was a big deal. I had friends over sometimes, you know, at 1 or 2 a.m. where they sleep over. And so like he would like knock on my window, and I'm like, okay, come on in. And he would come in, and we just talk about anime and all this, guy stuff. And he just
stuff.
Yeah, and then he would start talking a little bit too illicit about his. Then like after a while, he started talking about his sexual preferences. And it became. It started making me very, very uncomfortable.
Were you quivering in the corner in your bed?
I was almost at that point, because he was saying stuff like how like he liked. I knew he liked Asians, obviously the Asian culture, but I thought it was just regular, whatever. But then he started talking about like preferences, as in what he liked to do when he was intimate with another person.
This is a family show.
Yeah,
here.
I know, but it was, and I found out later that when he meant intimate person, he meant intimate guy. And
he's like, hint, hint.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, and it blew me away, because I really didn't know anyone at the time that was openly like that, right?
Sure.
Back then, I was like, oh, okay, and I tried to tell him, hey, I am not at all, and he's like, okay, I understand that, but just so that you know, and he would like, for some reason, take enjoyment of talking about it all the time, and I was like, kept on telling him how uncomfortable I was. So after a while, I kept on trying to avoid him, and he would like knock on my window, and I would just every time I would like pretend I was asleep. I was like start getting worried, and I was because he said. But then also I didn't want to turn off my flow of anime. It was a hard decision for me to make.
So where was he getting his anime from? That was so like this
man.
flow.
He was 23. He had the car, so like he probably had more access to stuff. And he moved to the city a little bit before he started talking to me.
Okay.
So he must have. I mean, I have no idea where he got it from. I didn't ask. I just it's like it was like drugs. You don't ask where you got it from. You just appreciate you got it. So it was so after a while it made me extremely uncomfortable, and finally I turned 16. This happened for like a year, and I got a car.
For a year?
Yeah.
Oh my!
But it wasn't like
I've heard this
it wasn't
story
like,
a couple times.
Yeah, but it wasn't like
that long.
every night. It was like like once a week he would try to come up, and I hear him knocking on my door. I'd be like, oh my god, it's
Creeper.
I know. So I would just be.
So you didn't think there was anything weird even after he told you these sexual advanced
No, because I
stories?
kept on telling him that I wasn't. So like, and I thought he understood the message. But then again, there wasn't very much very many guys, Asian guys that probably fit his bill in San Angelo. So I was probably one of the only few.
Weren't you
select
worried about
few.
your brother? Like him trying to like
he was
hit up on
sleeping, so like I mean, he never really talked about my brother, so I was like, okay, so it was really odd. He kept on talking about it with me, and like and every time, so I stopped seeing him for a long time.
You stopped seeing him?
Yeah, that sounds like
It
really
sounds like you're
sounds
dating.
horrible, but like I kept on avoiding him. And I would only see him if he wanted to trade anime tapes. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And he would almost use that to entice me to meet up with him.
Entice.
And after a while, I mean, that wasn't enough for me to meet up with him at all. I was like, okay, never mind. I can't even take this. You're going way too much in depth about what your preferences are. And so like I would like sometimes just drive off at night just to meet up with friends, and he would follow me because I would know he was following me because like he would drive to the. When we get to the red light, he would like drive right beside me and start honking his horn and telling me to pull over. And he'd be like, "Oh, where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm going to meet up with friends." He's like, "Oh, I thought you wanted to see some anime tapes that I got, new ones I got." I'm like, "No, I'm good." After that, I was just like, it made me a little too nervous. But the way that like after a while, like I just got really like freaked out. He kept on talking about like Asian guys. Like, there's not any in San Angelo. Like, obviously, right? And so I was like, where there's a lot of Asian guys is Japan, and I heard there's a big gay culture there. And he goes, I'm like, what? That's true. And I go, you love Japan, And so, believe it or not, after about another few months, he actually ended up moving to Japan.
Really?
Yeah, so I have no idea where he is, but you know what? Hey, Philip, that was his name. Hey.
To this day, I've never known his name.
Yeah. Hey, hope you're having a great time with a whole bunch of Asian guys in Japan. So I appreciate the anime tapes. Don't appreciate the stalking, but appreciate the anime tapes.
So
my
your
friend.
parents had no idea?
They just knew there was this guy
Now
that
they
would
do?
randomly like call or like randomly like come over. I'm like, oh. And when you say you're in the corner, when he would start talking about it, I would literally go into the corner and just sit there. And
In
I'd be
your
like,
panza?
and I'd be like, I think it's about time for you to go, and I need to get some bed. I need to get some.
I need to get
sleep.
some bed.
So yeah,
Were
it
you
was,
clothed?
Yes, I was fully clothed, just in my whitey tidies.
You were fully clothed. They called whitey tidies fully clothed.
Yeah.
Wow, Hoon. So I didn't mean to.
I was traumatized. Right now, I'm still traumatized.
No, that's why I was
now,
really surprised
now I can't
that you
look
were,
at now I can't look at a Scottish person in the face
or anime. When you get home, you're like, I can't
Yeah.
watch this anime. But no, I was really surprised that you're willing to share that story.
Hey, you know what? It's back then. You think back, you're like, what in the world was I thinking? Not that we did anything, but it was just more like in terms of like, why didn't I like say anything before? Why? But that anime was so enticing.
Not that we didn't. Not that we did anything. Or you keep on having to
I
validate.
keep on
that.
having to say that because I'm afraid that Oh, never mind.
What? Hoon, you're going down this rabbit hole here.
Okay.
So yes. So thanks for sharing that, Hoon, and I apologize for bringing up those demons.
How dare you?
But why don't you pick the story next time?
You know what? I will, Ben.
Because I've given you options. I'm like, look, here, we can talk about the creeper
And you know what?
story.
I'm going to pick the story and I'm going to pick the background next time.
You should. Pick the story, pick the background, and quiz me on what random crap that...
I'm going to only
dirty
quiz
jeans.
You. Yeah, dirty jeans. I'm going to quiz you on raw denim and some Converse.
Converse?
And I'm going to give you an anime quiz.
You know who owns Converse now, though?
Ford.
Why would Ford own Converse?
I don't know.
Nike owns Converse now.
Do they?
Yeah. Probably about 10 years ago, they bought the Converse brand.
I did not know that.
Yes. All right. So we're coming towards the end of the show, and thanks for stopping by. My family was here. I guess they've exited now because they were a little loud, and the kids are jumping all over the place. But I wanted to, thank my wife for coming out here today, and like thanks to her for putting up with me.
You have the patience of a saint.
She does
Esther.
have the patience of a saint. So I'm gonna do a little embarrassing, very embarrassing. Hoon, you should be here for backup.
I told you I would play the tambourine.
Where's the tambourine? You can do your pen.
Well, I keep horrible rhythm though.
So
Horrible rhythm.
I'm gonna try to sing this song.
Oh my!
Try.
Oh my goodness!
So
Ben's in the doghouse. That's
I am
why
in the
he's doing
doghouse.
this. That's so.
So this is a song by Han Dong-jun, and I'm gonna try to sing this. Hoon, you can be my background singer. Lyrics. The background changed. 그토록 바라던 믿어요. 모든 사람의 축복에 사랑해서 야구하고 있죠. 세월이 흘러서 병들고 지칠 때 지금처럼 내 곁에서 서로 위로해 줄 수 있나요? 함께 걸어가야 수많은 시간 앞에서 우리들의 약속은 언제나 변함없다는 것은 믿나요? 힘든 날도 있겠죠. 하지만 후회는 없어요. 저 하늘이 부르는 그날까지 사랑만 가득하다는 것을 믿어요. 이럴 수 없다고 슬퍼했던 날들, 낙서웠던 그 이별도 이제 추억이라 할 수 있죠. 함께 걸어가야 수많은 시간 앞에서 우리들의 약속은 언제나 변함없다는 것을 믿나요? 힘든 날도 있겠죠. 하지만 후회는 없어요. 저 하늘이 부르는 그날까지 사랑만 가득하다는 것을 믿어요. Hoon, was that a love song to you? No,
That
it's my
was,
wife.
I felt as though it went straight to my heart, Ben.
See you next week.
Over 4 months ago, Dallas Korean Network began something that had never been done before, believing in giving the second generation Asian Americans a platform to voice their thoughts and opinions, while also creating their own entertainment. Next Gen Connections was birthed, and its first show, Fresh Off the Pod, aired in late October 2014. Beginning the first week of March, Next Gen Connections will begin airing 4 shows targeting Asian Americans. Fresh Off the Pod, The Minority League, K-Pop Hour, and Next Gen Talk looks to bring a variety of topics to the Asian American community in the DFW area. DKNet and Next Gen Connections ask for your support as we strive to do something that has never been done before. For more information on shows and Next Gen Connections, go to www.nextgenconnections.org. Thank you for your support.